Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. Yesterday we talked about the small, brave yes. That quiet moment when love becomes more than a beautiful idea. It becomes the answer we choose, the tone we carry, the little bit of mercy we decide to let pass through us. Today I want to stay close to that thought, because choosing love is not always dramatic. Most of the time it doesn't look heroic from the outside. Sometimes it looks like staying soft when life has given us every excuse to harden. That may be one of the most difficult forms of courage. The world can be rough on a tender heart. People misunderstand softness. They mistake it for weakness. They assume kindness means a person has no boundaries, or that gentleness means someone does not know how cruel life can be. But I don't think tenderness survives because someone has never been hurt. Often tenderness survives because someone has been hurt and still refuses to let the wound become their whole personality. There's a strength in that. Think about it. Not the loud kind, not the kind that needs to win every room, but the kind that keeps a human being from becoming cold. I think about people who have been through difficult things, yet still notice when someone else is struggling. They know pain, but they don't worship it. They carry scars, but they have not turned those scars into weapons. And that's not weakness. That's a kind of holiness. Because bitterness is easy to understand after enough disappointment. It can even feel earned. A person may begin to think, why should I care so much? Why should I keep giving the world a gentleness that it doesn't always return? And I understand that question. I think most tender-hearted people have asked it at some point. I've asked it many times. Caring can be exhausting when the world keeps proving careless. It can feel foolish to keep offering warmth in places that seem determined to stay cold. But then I think of what happens when tenderness disappears. The room changes. The conversation changes. The future changes. A world without tenderness may still function, but it becomes harder to breathe in. People begin to protect themselves from one another as if every heart is a threat. They speak more sharply than necessary. They assume the worst before they have listened long enough to even understand. Hardness spreads that way. So does softness. One gentle person can change the temperature of a moment. A patient response can stop a chain of anger. A calm presence can make someone feel safe enough to tell the truth. That doesn't fix everything, but it matters. Maybe love often works by changing the temperature of what is right in front of us. We may not be able to soften the whole world today, but a kitchen table can be softened. A difficult conversation can be softened. The space around one hurting person can become less lonely because we chose not to add more sharpness to it. And that's a real offering, guys. It also takes discernment. Staying soft does not mean staying available for harm. There are times when love needs distance. There are times when the kindest thing we can do for our own soul is step back from what keeps injuring it. Tenderness is not the absence of boundaries. It is the spirit we try not to lose while keeping them. A person can say no without cruelty. You can do it. A person can leave without hatred. A person can protect their peace without wishing destruction on the one they had to walk away from. And that may be very hard. It may take time. But it keeps something important alive inside of us. Because the danger is not only what happens to us when we're hurt. The danger is what pain tries to make of us afterward. Pain can make the heart suspicious of every open door. It can turn memory into a guard dog. It can whisper that softness is what got us wounded in the first place. But tenderness was not the enemy. The harm was the enemy. The betrayal was the enemy. The cruelty was the enemy. Our capacity to love was never the problem. And that, guys, that is worth remembering. A tender heart may need wisdom. It may need rest. It may need better boundaries and a quieter place to heal. But it does not need to become hard in order to be safe. It can become wiser. There is a difference. There is a difference. Wisdom learns where to place trust. Hardness decides trust itself is foolish. Wisdom notices danger. Hardness expects danger everywhere. Wisdom protects the heart so it can keep loving, and hardness locks the heart away and calls the silence peace. I don't want that for us. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for me. I don't want any wound to convince us that the best part of us were mistakes. If you care deeply, that's not a flaw. If another person's pain reaches you, that's not proof that you're too sensitive for the world. If you still believe kindness matters after seeing how unkind people can be, maybe that belief is not naive. Maybe it's brave. Maybe it's the thread itself refusing to break. Of course, we'll not always get it right. Some days we'll be tired. The sharp answer may come out before we catch it. Old pain may speak before love has time to breathe. That's part of being human. But you notice it now. The work's not to become perfectly gentle every hour of every day. The work is to return. Return to the person that we meant to be. Return to the kind of presence we want to offer. Return to love, not because it's easy, but because a life without it grows too small, and you know that. There's a quiet joy in that return, a sense that we're not doomed to become whatever hurt us. We can choose another shape. We can let pain teach us compassion instead of contempt. We can let experience give us depth without stealing our warmth. That is the courage to stay soft, not untouched, not unaware, but soft in the way soil is soft. In the way soil is soft enough to let something grow. Soft in the way a voice can become a shelter. Soft in the way a heart can remain open to beauty even after sorrow has passed through it. The world needs people like that, guys. You know it. You look out there, see the news, you know that the world needs it. Not because they're fragile, but because they help keep life from becoming unbearable. They remember the human being inside of the argument. They notice the person who's gone quiet, and they leave a little grace behind them, even when no one knows what it cost. And maybe today that's enough to ask of ourselves. Not to solve everything, not to carry what is not ours, just to protect the tenderness that love has grown in us, to keep it from being mocked out of us, to let it mature without letting it disappear. Because a tender heart with wisdom is not weak. Think about it. When you say, oh, that's too hard, well, that means that it takes some work, doesn't it? It's not weak. It may be one of the strongest things that the world has left. Thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me on Infinite Threads. May we stay soft without losing ourselves, and may we grow wise without growing cold. And may love keep enough tenderness alive in us to make the world around us a little easier to breathe in. I love you guys very, very, very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on, okay? Later, Gators. Bye-bye.